Now, I've put together for you a bums workout. It's a collection of 10 different exercises, all targeted on this area here. Lots of people often ask me how they can target this area, so hopefully these 10 key exercises will be a great starting point for you. I'll give you different options as we go along with each one, some slightly easier, some slightly trickier options, so always make sure you tailor make it for you and choose a level you're comfortable with and you can keep good technique with. I'd much rather technique is good and you do either lesser repetitions or pick easier levels than if you're going too hard, your technique starts to go or your confidence goes because you don't feel you're doing it correctly. So my first exercise I'm going to do with you is a plie squat. So we're looking for feet turned out. The angle depends on your ability, depending on how much rotation you have in your hips. The idea is to keep hips, knees and feet all aligned. So if you find that your feet maybe are too turned out and your knees are rotating as you bend down, bring your feet in slightly, bring the angle in. Again, much better to err on the side of caution and bring your feet in slightly than be too far out and then knees and ankles and hips start to twist. We don't want any injuries. So we can go for hands on hips as option 1, our entry level. Hands by ears, level 2. Hands above your head as your level 3. You can also change the intensity by depending on how far you go down into this squat. So easier option would be a shallower squat here. A little bit further for level 2 or further still for level 3. Whatever option you're choosing, make sure, as I said, hips, knees and feet are all aligned and that knee should be going right over the middle toe. No twisting, or it's going to start to do some damage. Okay, we're going to go for 10 squats altogether. So some deep plie squats or shallow, depending on your ability. Okay, think about pulling up nice and tall through the middle of your head, putting your core in nice and firm. 10 squats, off we go. 1. Nice slow and steady pace. 2. Think about squeezing up underneath your bottom every time you do this. Make the whole exercise count. And 4. Keep thinking about your knees. They should be going directly over your middle toe. 5. And 6. Putting up nice and tall through your head. 7. And 8. Squeeze up at the end of every one. Really working underneath your bottoms. 9. Last one. 10. So that's your plie squat. And I've given you indications there as to how you can increase the intensity or take it down a level. So the next exercise in our range here is a mountain climber. I'm going to give you 3 different options. It'll be working your core a lot, but it'll also be working your bottom all around here. So the 3 different levels. We have level 1, tapping up and replacing. Thinking about your core the whole time. Level 2, we're going to add a jump. So this is level 2. Level 3, we're going to do the tap, but keep your foot just off the floor to keep that tension going. So level 3 is this. Okay, I'm going to demonstrate level 1 to you, the easiest entry level, and we're going to do 10 repetitions of the mountain climber. The whole way through, I want you to focus on your core, keep pulling it in so it's nice and solid and gives you a good base to work from. If your core starts to dip too much, you're going to be hurting your lower back. Make sure that doesn't happen. Keep holding on here. I'd much rather you did less repetitions, but your technique be correct, than push the whole 10, but your technique start to dip. So here we go. As I say, I'm showing you 10 of the level 1 options. So, hands under shoulders, off we go. 1. And 2. So that slow, steady pace. And 4. Putting that core in the whole time. Don't let your hips drop. Equally, don't let your bottom stick in the air. 7. And 8. And 9. Keep that steady pace. And 10. So those are your mountain climbers. The next one we're going to do are leg raises. You're going to be lying on your side. We're going to do 10 on one leg, switch round, 10 on the other to make sure you're working evenly. These can be done on your elbow here, with your elbow underneath your shoulder, or lying down, relaxing. Up to you, either way is good. Now, your underneath leg, I'd like bent. Your top leg needs to be in line with your spine. So there should be a line going from your head, through your spine, all the way down through your leg. Flexed foot on the end. You're going to feel it working all around here. I'm going to show you 10 raises. This is level 1, your entry level, what I'm going to be doing. Level 2 is we're going to do a pulse and then come down. So you're going to go up and a pulse and down. For level 3, we're going to add in a circular movement. So when you go circle instead and keep that tension by keeping the leg off the ground. That's your level 3 option. Depending on how high you go, again, you can change the level of intensity. Make sure though, you don't go too high at the detriment of your technique. If you go too high, things are going to start to buckle, technique's going to go. I want you to keep up on this supporting arm if that's your choice. I want you to make sure this is all in alignment and your foot definitely flexed. That way it's going to engage the back of your leg a lot more. So I'm choosing this level 1 option, 10 on one side, 10 on the other. Off we go. And 1. Make sure that foot is facing forwards. It's not rotated outwards. The leg is facing forward. And 4. Hands here for stability, not gripping on the mat, just to add some gentle stability. And 7. And 8, so I can feel that working all around my hip and bottom area. 9, last one, and 10. So that's one side. We're going to flip round now and even ourselves up. So again, if you're going for the elbow version, elbow underneath your shoulder here, underneath leg bent, top leg straight with that flexed foot. Again, I'm going to stick with the level 1 option. So 10 repetitions. And 2. Keep that foot and leg facing forwards. Keep pulling that core in so it's nice and tight. Make sure your back's not arching. Nice and firm. And 6. Light on your hands here. Again, no mat gripping. Nice and easy. And 9. And 10. So that's your lying leg raise. Our next exercise is going to be a deep squat with a pulse. Now this one is parallel, so you're going hips, knees and feet all aligned. As you go down into the squat, bottoms right back and out, chest facing forwards, head nice and lifted. So technique, this way into the squat. Again as before, the shallower the squat, the easier it'll be. The deeper you go, the harder it'll be. We're going to be doing pulses with these. We're going to be doing 4 pulses at a time, and we're going for 10 repetitions. So if I show you a level 2 option, so somewhere in the middle, we're going to be going down and doing pulse, 2, 3, and 4, and then come up. At the end of each one, really pull up underneath your bottom. Again, make every last part of the exercise count. So 10 repetitions, 4 pulses on each one. Okay? Off we go. And pulse, 2, 3, 4, and up. Pulse, 2, 3, 4, and up. Squeeze it up underneath that bottom. And pulse, 2, 3, 4, and up. Remember I said the lower you go in that squat, the harder it'll be. So tailor make it for you. That's 4. And 5. Keep everything nice and parallel. And putting up nice and tall. And 6, 2, 3, 4, and up. Nice and tall. And 7, 2, 3, 4, and up. 8, 2, 3, 4, and squeeze up underneath that bottom as much as you can. Last 2, 9, 2, 3, 4, and up. Last one, bottom right back and out. Weight over your heels. 3, 4, and up. So that's your squat pulse. Again, targeting hips and bottom, though you'll also feel it in your quads and your thighs as well. The next exercise we're going for is a curtsy lunge. So with a lunge, a crossover, we're stepping behind and crossing that leg over behind us. Again, the intensity can come from how deep you go into that lunge. So again, the shallower the lunge, the easier it'll be. The deeper the lunge, the harder it'll be. Again, arm options. Level 1 will be hands on hips. Level 2, hands by ears. And level 3, up in the air. So I'm going to go for level 1 option with my hands and level 1 option with my legs as well. 10 crosses we're going to do behind, so 10 curtsy lunges, crossing behind and alternating legs each time. So off we go. So lunge and replace. The whole time, think about pulling up through the top of your head here and pulling in through your core. So you've got a great solid base here, so your legs can work easily underneath. If your torso and your core isn't solid and secure, your legs find it really hard to work underneath. And 6. Nice parallel legs every single time. So each time you replace, parallel. 8. Putting up nice and tall the whole time. 9. You should feel this working around here. And 10. So those are your curtsy lunges. As I say, the intensity can change with the depth of the lunge and with the arm options as well. The next one I'm going to show you is a bridge. Again, I'm going to give you different options. This is working your thighs, your quads, and again, your bottom. This is where we're aiming for in this particular set of exercises. So I'm going to show you those different options now. Feet flat on the ground, knees bent. So, the idea is to peel your vertebrae off the floor one at a time. It's a tricky thing to do, but that's what you've got to keep imagining to make sure you're engaging your core in the correct way. So, hands here for stability. Again, not grabbing the mat. Here. So, here we go, one vertebrae at a time. Rolling up slowly to here. That's your basic bridge. Then rolling it down again, one vertebrae at a time, nice and slowly. Now to add intensity, I want you to make sure that you are going up and maybe holding for a few seconds. That will make it harder. To make it harder still, you could go up and add one pulse and then come back down again. Whatever you choose to do, again, pitch it at the level that's right for you. So you're going to do 10 of these at a nice slowed, steady pace. So rolling up through your spine, rolling up and hold there. This is your level 1. And slowly rolling back down again. As I say, you should feel it working here in your thighs and your bottom underneath. And 2, pulling that core in nice and tight. And roll down again. And 3. So, as I said, if you want to add intensity, hold for a few seconds, then roll back down again. And 4. If you want to take it up again, after you've held a few seconds, as I said, add an extra squeeze or a pulse you can add at the top of that bridge. And 5. Roll down one vertebrae at a time, pulling this tummy as flat as you can. And 6. Nice light and easy hands here. They're just for stability, no gripping. A few more to go. And 7. Remember, peeling off the ground one vertebrae at a time. As you squeeze at the top, make sure you get everything out of this exercise. 8. Last 2. Keeping that slow and steady pace. 9. And roll down. Putting that tummy flat, flat, flat. Last one. 10. And roll down. 1 vertebrae at a time. The next thing we're going to do is a squat. Now for this particular squat, I'm going to use the loop here. The resistance band can come in a loop, already done, or if you don't have any of the loops, you can use a regular resistance band and tie a knot in it instead. Either way it will work. For this, I'm going to use the loop. So we're going to travel side to side with these squats, with this around our legs. So, make sure the band is not across your knees. It can be below or above, doesn't matter, but not on your knee joints. So we're going to do a step and a squat and join, and again the other way, step, squat and join. I'll demonstrate for you, then we'll do 10. So, step and a squat, up and join. Step and a squat, up and join. Now the band is adding an extra element and making your hips and bottom work harder than it would be doing in a regular squat. So it's adding an extra level of intensity for you. As I say, you can use a loop or the regular band, just tied in a knot to give you this loop effect. The deeper you go, the harder it will be, so judge it depending on your fitness levels. So here we go, 10 squats with the band. And 1. Make sure your bottom is going right back and out. Make sure your chest is lifted and your eye line lifted. Make sure as you step out, legs and everything are parallel. No twisting. Now, as you take that leg out sideways, note that I'm standing up tall. Make sure as you take your leg out, that doesn't happen. Not good. You want to make sure that you're nice and upright, nice and pulled up. Every time, make your body work. And 7. Nice squat. Putting up nice and tall. 8. Last 2. So nice and tall and lifted each time I step out. 9. Last one. Nice and tall and lifted. Parallel legs, bottom back and out. So those are your side lunges with the resistance band loop. The next exercise is a knee repeater. We're going to be doing 10 on one leg and 10 on the other to make sure we're working evenly. Now with this one, the arm options, level 1 would be arms here, level 2, arms here, a little bit harder still, level 3, hands above your head. Now the intensity can be changed as well by the amount you go into the lunge before the knee repeater. I'll demonstrate and give you an idea. So if I show you from side on, we're going to keep that supporting leg still and the working leg's going to be moving. This one doesn't budge. So a shallow lunge and knee. Shallow lunge and knee. This is what we're aiming for. This is going to work your bottom. Okay, that's your level 1 option. Level 2, bigger still. Lunge and up. Lunge and up. Level 3, bigger again. So a nice deep lunge. Lunge and knee. And lunge and knee. That's your level 3 option. If you find the balance is a bit of an issue, with any of those options, you can use a table, a work surface, piece of furniture, just to lightly rest your hand on to give you that extra bit of stability. So for this demonstration, I'm going to show you level 2. My hands are going to be on my hips, and level 2 legs is what I'm going to work for. Again, choose a level that's right for you, and then over time you can gradually increase the intensity. So you're going to go 10 on the right, 10 on the left. going to do it facing you. I want you to make sure that everything is parallel. Hips, knees and feet all aligned every single time. If you need to, after you've brought that knee up, you can tap it down again. But if you're able to, try and keep it off the floor for the whole 10 repetitions. That'll again will work your core that little bit harder. But as I say, pitch it to your level. We've always got places we can aim for and things we can work towards. So I'm going to go for hands on my hips, 10 on one leg, 10 on the other. So 1, and up. Nice and slow and controlled. Speed does not matter, technique does. 3, and 4. So I'm pulling up nice and tall through the top of my head here. I'm pulling my core in to give me that balance. 6, and 7, and 8, keeping that steady pace. So you should be working your thighs, your quads, and also your glutes, your bottom. 9, and last one, 10. That's 10 repetitions on one leg, same on the other now. Make sure you're even. And lunge, and knee repeater. 2, and 3. Thinking about my core the whole time. 4. This is your foundation. 5, and 6. Putting it through the top of your head, nice and tall. 7, and 8. Last 2, keeping everything parallel every single time. 10. And those are your knee repeaters. As I say, change the depth of the lunge, change your arm position to increase or decrease the intensity. Another one we're going to do is the donkey kick. This one again will work your bottom and your hips and also your hamstrings at the back of your leg. So I'll show you different options here. So you can do it either down on elbows here or up on your hands, okay? As long as your leg and your core technique is correct, hands or elbows are fine. As you take your leg up behind you, your leg should be at a right angle and your foot should be flexed. So taking it up that way and back down again. That's your level 1 option. Each time think about pushing the heel towards the sky and replace. Your level 2 option would be to take it up and then when you bring it back down again, keep that tension. Don't relax the leg on the ground. So taking it up and keeping it just off the ground as you come back in to keep the muscle working. The level 3 option would be level 2 plus an extra pulse in the air. So you're going up, add 1 extra pulse, and then back down again, keeping it just off the ground. And we're going to do 10 on the right, 10 on the left, again to work your legs evenly. Now I want you to think about your technique. So we're going for hands underneath shoulders, and we're going to go for a nice flat back. No arching, because that's pressure on your lower spine, and no rounded backs either, because that's not really working very much. So nice and flat, holding that core in. It's particularly tricky as you take the leg up behind you, your back will want to arch, so fight against it and keep pulling that core in nice and tight. So I'm going to go for level 1 option. We're going to do 10 on each side. Off we go. So heel to the sky, 1, and 2, and 3. So keeping that foot flexed every time. 4, and 5. Keep pulling your core in as much as you can. 6, and 7. Heel up to the sky. Lead with it. Think about leading with that heel. 8, and 9, and 10. I'm going to go straight onto the other side, so 10 on your other leg. Heel up to the sky. And 2. Nice slow, steady pace. 3. And 4. Holding in your core, particularly as your leg goes up. 5. And 6. 7. Keep thinking of leading with your heel. 8. The more you can do that, the more you'll engage your hamstring and your bottom. 9. Last one, 10. So those are your donkey kicks with the various levels of intensity. Now the last one we're going to go for are the tap backs. So again, working thighs, your quads, and your bottoms, your glutes, all around here. Again, the intensity can be taken up depending on your arm movements or the depth as to which you go down. If I show you from side on, I'm going to show you level 1 arms here, and level 1 to start with here. So we're going to go tap back and replace, tap back and replace. And straight away you'll feel it working thighs and bottom. To increase the intensity, take that lunge a bit deeper. So down again, and down again. So a little bit deeper down each time. For level 3, a bit more intensity, again take that lunge back a bit more and down a bit more. We're going to add some arms in. Lunge. This is your level 3 option. Each time, I want you to replace your leg parallel, so it's hips, knees over feet the whole time. So I'm going to choose level 2. We're going to do 10 of these repetitions. I'm going to show you front on. Hips, knees and feet, everything aligned. So we're going for 10. And 1. And 2. Pulling up nice and tall. 3. And 4. Thinking about my core. 5. And 6. 7. Nice and tall. 8, keeping that slow, steady speed. 9. Almost there. And 10. And those are your tap backs. That's the last in our set of exercises. So it's our 10 different exercises regarding bottom and this area here, toning it up and strengthening it. As with all the other workouts, you can choose to do the 10 exercises in their entirety, or you can pick and choose from the collection that I've done for you. Whatever you choose to do, make sure you pitch it at your level. Make sure you're going easier, if anything, so you've got a place to increase from, and it gives you a chance to correct your technique, make sure you're confident with what you're doing, and then you can build on that. Always think about your core. The more solid this is, the easier it is to work your bottom or any other part of your body. However you choose to use the exercises, hope you have fun with them. So that concludes our bums workout. So I put together there for you a collection of 10 different exercises, all targeting this area here, to give it more strength and more tone. If you can, do the 10 exercises in succession. If not, if you're not able to yet, or you don't have the time ability, pick and choose from those 10 exercises and do them as you will. Always make sure you pick the right level for you. If you're unsure, always go for an easier option, because then you can get the strength and the confidence and the technique right before you then start to build and increase the intensity. I'd much rather technique be correct than you go on and achieve more repetitions or a higher level of intensity too soon. It'll only put you off and dishearten you, and maybe the technique might not be correct, which is not a good place to build from. Always make sure your technique is right to start with. So however you pick and choose to use these exercises, I hope you enjoy them.